Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Trent. This is Rams Talk coming at you right after the Rams beat the Colts 27-24. And man, that was a roller coaster ride. I am spent. Yes. So thanks for tuning in. This is an instant analysis, but if you're watching this on replay, leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of this game. I hope everyone out there is doing well and can take a sigh of relief because that game. I think we're all gonna sit here and get pissed and maybe overreact a bit, to be honest with you. But I mean, really, that game was that game was a special teams complete blunder away from like not being that competitive. So I mean that game should have been 27-17 at least. So I hope you guys are you agree with that. I'm pretty sure you do. How's the audio going on over there? Can you guys hear me? I hope so. Using a new mic here, hoping you guys can hear it. So yeah. I mean this was just an all around roller coaster game. Like I said, Sony Michel getting some Sony Michel action. I mean, I'm going to look at the game score right here. All right. Thanks, Anderson. I really had no idea trying this new mic here, but what I like to do, and good to see you, Anderson. Good to see you showing up here. So, okay. Without looking at the stats, my real takeaway of this game is Rams outplayed the Colts by far. They made some bonehead mistakes. The Kenny Young play, the Nick Scott play. And I mean, I don't even know so much if that's a Nick Scott, his fault. I mean, I think Johnny Hecker should be calling that out because, the way I don't think Johnny Hecker seemed like he was directly behind the center. He was like angled to the left a little bit. And so Nick Scott was to the left of the center as well, but the ball kind of dinged off of him. So, I mean, that's just, I think special teams in general, the opening kickoff of the game was returned 40 yards. Same thing against the Bears. That was like a 40 or 50 yard return. So the special teams coverage unit still very shaky. And I think after that first kickoff in the game, Matt Gay kicked everything out. Everything else was a touchback. So they didn't have any other returns in that game because I mean the coverage has been atrocious on the two times. Then also the Cooper Kupp is there he had a fair catch, and Tutu Atwell had a fair catch. Matt Gay himself is great, but I mean special teams still a concern, to be honest with you. Now I know that we're talking about like the Rams defense. I think is also going to be shredded in these comments here. And I think honestly the Rams defense really only gave up 17 points. Okay, so when you see 24 points, when people aggregate the points, like the Rams have given up X amount of points, not all of those are on the defense. And so 17 points, I'll take it. If you tell me going into any game that the Rams will just give up 17 points and that's it, I'll take it because you just assume the Rams will score more than 17 points. Now, Matt Stafford had his first pick of the season, and that was not a great throw. But the thing is I can take throws like that. I don't mind those throws. It's the throws that kind of Goff made that were just total bonehead. So, the Matthew Stafford stuff doesn't bother me too much. Our receivers had a couple drops, the Van Jefferson drop, the Robert Woods drop, the play call to have Kupp go on that kind of end around on that third down conversion that the Rams didn't get. Not a great play call, but if we had Goff, we didn't win. I mean, here's the thing. That game did not look great for us. We have higher standards. We still dropped 27 points. Okay. We still dropped 27 points. We went on the road. We played a solid team and we won. I mean, we're always, I remember in 2018, the 2018 season when we were just like flying high and everything was great. And anytime the Rams had a close game or didn't blow a team out, we were pissed off because we just kind of felt like, oh, we should be dropping 40, holding other teams to 10. And anytime the other team does something, like how dare we allow that? So just going over all the stats here, the Rams and the Colts had the same amount of first downs, 21 apiece. Third down efficiency, Rams 3 for 9. I think that's really where it bit them. And the Colts were 5 for 11. So just a little bit better, I guess, there. Both 0 for 1 on fourth downs. Total plays, the Colts had 4 more total plays, 64 to 60 against the Rams. Total yards, the Rams outgained the Colts 371 to 339. Total drives, 10 apiece. Yards per play, 6.2 for the Rams, 5.3 for the Colts. 270 passing yards, 101 rushing yards. Rams had 101 rushing yards to 109 for the Colts. Pretty even there. We did a better job against the run game this week. And rushing attempts 29 for us. So we had a 3.5 yard per carry. But even some of that was just Sony Michel doing nothing at the end of the game. I mean, Sony Michel had some runs, and I'm just going to say this right now. I like Darrell Henderson. His ability is not a question for me, and I think everyone else here would agree with that. But when you go in a season with Darrell Henderson and Jake Funk and Xavier Rhodes Xavier Jones. Xavier Jones goes down. You need Darrell Henderson not going to make it through 2 games healthy. And that's why I have Sony Michel. And he looked good. When he got the ball and it was his drive, he was looking good. So I'm really happy that we have Sony Michel now. I hope it's nothing serious for Hendo, but it looked like a ribs thing. And this is just one little note about the broadcast today. Like, generally, I like Jonathan Vilma. Kenny Albert's always good, but they missed a lot of stuff. Like when Hendo went down and they showed a replay while he was kind of still down, they showed the knee going on the side, and you're just like, and they just sit there and go like, oh, he's down. Who knows? And you're just like, well, yeah, you can see it. Same with Carson Wentz's ankle. They showed that thing roll up before they even knew he was injured when he was limping off. And it's like, come on, guys. And also, I'm going to pivot to AD. AD had his way today. And he, I think, for the most part, got the better of the matchup between him and Quentin Nelson. There was that obvious holding call. Jonathan Vilma's like, oh, look at him. He just great strength on strength. And it's like, no, he hooked him. Like, we're looking at the same thing, right? So that was kind of crazy. I mean, I felt like the Rams, I forgot to look this up, but on the penalty, in terms of penalties, I'm not going to count that last delay of game, but penalties, the Rams were 3 for 25. So let's just say 2 for 20. One of those was the Kenny Young. Now, the Kenny Young just completely losing his mind right there. Also, I really don't think that the bill of a hat on a referee should really count as the referee, unless Kenny Young just walked up to him and just knocked it off on purpose. But like the guy, the ref is just right in there, right in Kenny Young's mix. Like, in his bubble. You got to give a man some space to just get his emotion and his energy out. And he hits the bill. He hits the bill. Like, I know he lost his cool, but like, when does like inadvertently hitting the bill of a cap on a ref like do that? I mean, I'm not going to harp too much on that, but I just kind of felt that was weak sauce, to be honest with you. Like, if that ref did not have a hat on, I guarantee you that there's no call there. So I blame that on the hat of the ref. So yeah, I'll say that right there. Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm just going to dive in and start saying hi to people. Like I said, if you're watching this on the replay, leave a comment in here and let me know what you thought of the game. Everyone else, thank you for showing up to the live stream. It's good to see everyone. Now, Preston Murphy, Finessed Foreign, Ernesto Polanco. What's going on, Ernesto? Elo Forever. Yeah, we got a W on the road. Should we overreact on this game, or is it one of those old-fashioned ugly win? It's an old-fashioned ugly win, but like I said, that special teams miscue, that was the real difference in the game. I mean, it really was not that close of a game. I mean, if you thought that last year the Rams red zone offense was not great, this year's Colts red zone offense was terrible. I mean, Rams defense is 100% bamboo, bend but don't break. And that first red zone thing for the drive for the Colts, where they drove it down there, and that was a straight up goal line stop and then a sack. So, you get a lot of time of possession, a lot, big drives, a lot of plays, but at the end of the day, no points. So I think that's also what Raheem Morris really coaches the defense is make a difference plays. So turnovers. So you will play a little softer. We're going to bend. We're not going to break, but we're going to capitalize on turnovers. We're going to really focus on turnovers. So that was a turnover on downs. And then the second one, the shovel pass by Carson Wentz, that shovel pass by Carson Wentz, that to me, that's a typical Jared Goff play where that would be picked. So that I just kind of thought that was funny. But I mean, two great plays by them in the red zone. And, for the Rams, I felt like the Rams, they put together a couple good drives, but they seem very quick strike or nothing. There's not too much in the middle, even though time of possession was pretty close at the end. Yeah, let's see. I wrote some things down during the game. But yeah, like Aaron Donald, I felt not dominated, but I mean, he was everywhere. He wasn't, it just wasn't, I'm not saying he dominated Quentin Nelson. I think he got the better of Quentin Nelson. And a lot of time Quentin Nelson had help. So Quentin Nelson rarely just faced off mano-a-mano against Aaron Donald. So there's that. But I mean, they were shifting him all over the place and he was everywhere. I mean, Aaron Donald to me in this game was the man. Now, Cooper Kupp, right? Cooper freaking Kupp. Hey, Absurd, what's going on? Rams House is in the house. By the way, everyone, when you're done watching this live stream, head over to Rams House TV, Payo Time, Jake Ellenbogen. Show those guys some love. Subscribe to their channels as well. Let's just all support one another. They're pumping out Rams content all the time. And also, if you can smash the like button on this, that would be great. Just send the power of this live stream out to the YouTube universe. I'd appreciate that. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, Cooper Kupp. Man, Cooper Kupp was on a freaking mission. Now I'm going to look up the box score for Cooper Kupp, but I mean, it's really time that Cooper Kupp gets the national attention that he deserves. He is a top 10 receiver in the game. So he had 109 yards last week, 163 yards on 9 receptions, 11 targets, 2 touchdowns. I mean, and it's how many receivers catch the ball and just kind of dive down like the Brandon Cookses of the world, and Cooper Kupp doesn't. Cooper Kupp is fighting and scrapping for every yard. He is a perfect route runner. He blocks. He is so well-rounded. And, quarterbacks know they can depend on him. Like that was Jared Goff's safety blanket, right? It seems like that's Matthew Stafford's go-to as well. Cooper Kupp knows where to be, and he knows how, he makes defenders miss. He's just, I think this is, we had back in the day, we had Henry Ellard and Flipper Anderson. Then we had Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt. Then we had Kenny Britt and Tavon Austin, right? So I don't really want to count those guys. But then you have Kupp and Woods. And Kupp is it's Kupp. Kupp is the dude on this team. He is the best receiver on this team. I love Robert Woods. He does so many things, but man. Hey, what's up, Renee House? This year's D is not looking so good. Bending against middle of the pack teams is one thing. Bending against playoff caliber teams won't work. Tampa Bay is going to eat our lunch if we don't stiffen up next week. I totally agree. And I had that same thought. I was thinking, after the Rams went up 7-0, stopped and went up 7-0. I was thinking, whoa, like Matthew Stafford, Rams, we are not joking around. But then a lot of miscues, a lot of 3-and-outs, a lot of McVay just going pass. I then at towards the end of the game, I was thinking exactly what Renee is saying right there, and it's that playing Indy with Carson Wentz and Michael Pittman, I guess, Jonathan Taylor, good offensive line, good defense, but they're not a spectacular team. They're not a Super Bowl favorite team. That's one thing. They probably will not make the playoffs unless they right the ship immediately. If Carson Wentz is out for any period of time, they're done. But what's going to happen against Tampa Bay, right? What's going to happen against Seattle? What's going to happen against these other teams that are top caliber teams in the NFL? So the Rams defense really needs to figure it out, because better teams, better coaches, better coaching is going to figure some of this out. So, hey, this is also, I didn't want to jinx it before. What is it? 39-0 now. McVay after leading after the half. So, the Rams know how to, when they're ahead, when the Rams are ahead going into the second half, they take care of business. So, both teams we played were in the playoffs. Yeah, they were in the playoffs last year. So, who won the Bears game? Did they end up winning? The Bears still could make the playoffs. Yeah, they won 20-17 over the Bengals. So in terms of the NFC, Bears looking good, looking okay. Justin Fields got a lot of action in there. But Matthew Stafford, I think Matthew Stafford looked good today, honestly. I'm not going to rip him too much. It's a hard league, and he's had 278 yards with 2 touchdowns and an interception. That's not bad, right? So I think he played well, right? I think sometimes he was throwing it a little too low. That interception over the middle. Biozio says the Dodgers are winning. I love to hear that. Tell me the Giants are losing. That would make me feel a lot better. Okay. Gary Trujillo, cut that dude on the punt attempt. Disgraceful. That's Nick Scott. Nick Scott's a valuable player on the Rams, so let's keep Nick Scott. Michelle looked good. He certainly did. What's up, Ron Ruiz? How about those Rams? Yeah. Listen, 2-0. 2-0. And just ongoing, with Sean McVay, the Rams just win. They win. And this is football. It's not always going to be a blowout. The Rams aren't always going to be perfect, but a win is a win. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. But the Rams, they fought back when they were down. The Rams were down 24-20 in this game. Sorry. What were they? They were down 20. Anyway, I can't remember. They were down, and they had to fight back, and they had to score a touchdown. Right. So they responded, and they went down the field and just did it. So, this is still, Stafford's second game as a Ram. A lot of new players. Brian Allen, I thought, did really well in this game. The offensive line in general did really well in this game. Yeah, they were inches away from getting multiple sacks. It was just, I felt these third down conversions, like that one where Wentz was getting chased out of the pocket and he just threw it down to Pittman, who was sliding, and Fuller and Scott were in coverage. And I felt that was a play where the Rams really needed to make a stop. It really comes down to the third down conversions to me. That's really where the gold is for this defense. One thing I saw on offense that I thought was really interesting were 5 wideouts. Going 5 wide, empty backfield, and on 2 plays in particular, made me think back to that Dolphins game last year when Jared Goff had an empty backfield and the Dolphins were bringing the house, and he just implode mentally, like complete brain fart from Jared Goff. He was getting sacked and throwing interceptions, and it seemed like both times that the Colts brought the house and the Rams were split out 5 wide, they threw that little bubble wide receiver screen to Cooper Kupp. Like, just Stafford gets the snap, 3-step drop, boom, or just turns and fires, and Cooper Kupp gets it and gets a first down, converts. So when the pressure is coming, it seems like Matthew Stafford can at least diagnose these things pre-snap. So I'm just curious to know, was that the original play call, or was that something that he called at the line because he kind of had an idea of what was coming? And he did a lot of hard counts to kind of let the defense expose themselves and tell the Rams what they were going to do. So I'm just curious to know what was really behind those play calls, those 2 little bubble screens to Cooper Kupp, because they were, last year when the Rams were doing those wide receiver screens, those were on 3rd down, weren't fooling anybody. The defense was sniffing them out, but this time they converted. I don't think they were both on 3rd down, but they were when big pressure came. So That was really interesting. Also, it's interesting to see the Rams go 5 wide. That's pretty cool. Um, who was covering Pittman? Um, I don't know on which player you're talking about. Who am I? DIY Ryan Panana. Animals with horns. Bucks play us at home next week, right? Yes, they do. No one is happy, Rams fans or Colts fans, after that one. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy, honestly. Like, can you imagine if we lost that game? Like, seriously, think about it. If we lost that game and now we're talking and we're upset and pissed off about everything, right? So we're in a good spot. We're 2-0. We just had to hold serve in the NFC West, and we did. So now the onus, I think the 49ers won, and now it's up to the Seahawks and the Cardinals to hold serve. I see the Cardinals. I got red zone going on here right now. You don't like Thomas Gentry, doesn't like Morris leading the D. I'm a little suspect as well, but I think, let's just keep in mind last year, the Buffalo game was week 3, and they dropped a lot of points on us. So I think it might take some time to gel with this team. We will see. But, I saw Robert Rochelle getting some snaps. I saw him in there a little bit. Michael Hoyt, Jonah Williams. So a lot of players on defense getting some rotation in there. Ernest Jones, they put Ernest Jones in there for some goal line stops, which is great because he's more of like a run stuffing guy. So, some rookies and second year UDFAs getting some action in this game. That's always great to see guys in the mix there. Renee House says, I noticed the 5 wide 2, then thought they should line up Djax 432 22 432. Yeah, J their time. Sorry. Djax 22, Jake Harris, Woods, and Kupp. Line them all the speed on one side, and there will be nobody home to cover Woods and Kupp. Yeah. I mean, I think, Renee, to your point, it's just a matter of time before we get some of that action, because what I said in the pregame video was that because of the limited amount of plays and snaps that the Rams had on offense in week 1, that they really just got through the first page of the playbook. In this game, we saw we saw a lot more motion. We saw some more of the playbook open up. So I think it's just a matter of time. But honestly, like, who eats? There's so many mouths to feed. Woods, Kupp, Van Jefferson, Deshaun Jackson, Tutu Atwell, Jacob Harris, Sony Michel, Darrell Henderson before the injury, Tyler Higbee. I mean, there's just so many guys. One other thing I noticed in this game was that Darrell Henderson had 3 catches, and then he also dropped the ball. So that would have been 4 receptions he had. Last year, the whole season, he had 16 receptions. He had 1 reception in the first game. He had 3 receptions today. So he already has 4 receptions through 2 games. Now, let's just hypothetically say he's healthy, he's ready to go next week. Or we can just say Matthew Stafford dumping the ball off to running backs is a thing that he likes to do. So we should expect to see more of it. So that's just one thing I was very curious. I thought Matthew Stafford would bring with him from Detroit, just having that check down to the running back, and it looks like that's carrying through. So it looks like I see some Payo in here. Payo time. What a game. Hey, Ramley, good to see you. Yeah, and Anderson, you're right. You take the wins in this league. You take, when you're towards the end of the season and you're fighting for a division title or a wild card game, you look back and you think, man, like, if the Rams had won by 1 point on a last minute field goal against the Jets last year, we would be complaining about that, right? But we would have won the division, and so every little thing counts. Every team loses to a surprise team in the season, and the Colts are not terrible. I think you look at the injury report for the Colts and you think, coming into this game, you think, no Xavier Rhodes, no Braden Smith. A couple other guys are kind of dinged up, but they're almost full strength in this game, minus 2 players. So, you take the wins in this league. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like the Bucks are just going to rip the Falcons a new one. So, that's going to happen. And how about that pick by Ramsey? Great play. Jalen Ramsey's a beast. I need to see what his stats were in the game, because I felt like, here's the thing. The receivers for opposing teams really are not going to fill up the stat sheet. Well, unless it's Michael Pittman for 123 yards. So, yeah, never mind. So Michael Pittman had himself a day. I didn't even realize that. Didn't seem like that, to be honest. Jack Doyle does not rule, 64 yards, but let's see here. Rams defense. Let's see. So Taylor Rapp led the team in tackles with 9. Sebastian Joseph Day with 9, a sack, a tackle for a loss. Darius Williams Jordan Fuller and Aaron Donald each with 7 tackles. Jalen Ramsey 3 tackles, 1 solo, and a doesn't even say interception here, but he had an interception. So yeah, Jalen Ramsey. I mean, glad he's a Ram. Let's see here. Let's not forget that this defense is top notch. I mean, yeah, the Colts defense last year was a really good defense. So, I mean, it's just because we don't know the names, we might think that they're not great, but they're only missing their best corner, right? They had everyone else on defense for the most part. So, do you think we should have paid JJ instead of Leonard Floyd? No, because we have a lot. I think it was just a position of depth, right? We didn't have any other outside linebackers. Really, Justin Hollins is good, but if we didn't have Floyd, it'd be Justin Hollins and Terrell Lewis and not Obo because he's injured. So it was a depth issue, right? So we have plenty of safeties: Rapp, Fuller, Scott, Burgess. So we're really good in the secondary. Without the 50-yard pass and the Nick Scott kick block, we would have blown out the Colts. Yeah, I mean, the Rams outplayed the Colts in this game, and yeah, just some brain farts in some crucial situations. Typical stuff. Still annoyed at the amount of no calls that happened, which ultimately led to Kenny Young flipping out, but that doesn't excuse his unprofessionalism. Yeah, I mean, I think he was just caught up in the moment of that one specific play, and I think they were talking trash to him, and he flipped out. So just that can't happen. 2 weeks in a row where our tackling sucked. Is it an abnormality, or is it the way things are going to be this season? Randy, I think it's just the jury is going to be out on that. I mean, so in 2 weeks, we've given up 38 points. So 19 points a game average. So, that's not bad to start the season. But like you said, we're playing the Bucs week 3. We're going to find out a lot about the Rams in that game. So I don't know. I want to say the tackling will be better. I didn't notice the tackling being so bad. I just think that the Rams, there was just so much soft zone. I mean, and the Colts were just setting up in the soft zone. Carson Wentz was mobile. I think Carson Wentz really eluding a lot of tackles and eluding. I mean, Carson Wentz is running for his life in this game, guys. Like, I know on the backside it didn't look great, but I mean, the pressure that the Rams were applying, and the Colts are supposed to have like a top offensive line in the league, and the Rams were getting in the backfield all the time. Wentz was, man, that's what Wentz eventually got knocked out. That's what happens, right? He can only play with fire that many times before he gets burned. So Wentz rushed 5 times for 37 yards. And that's because the Rams were getting up in his mix. He didn't just take off and run. He ran for his life and eventually caught up to him. The Rams knocked him out of the game. The Rams knocked Kyler Murray out of the game last year. The Rams applied pressure. So say what you will about the Rams coverage and the defensive calls, but they were getting after the quarterback in this game. Yeah, AD was disruptive all game, but he couldn't find a single sack, and that's okay. Like, the other players did, and he made Wentz run. And Wentz got threw the ball out when he was wrapped up by AD. So, that's just it's going to happen. He's not going to get a sack every game, but maybe against the Bucs. Let's see here, because Tom Brady is a statue back there. And let's see here. Sony Michel for coming in and getting much needed yards after Hendo went out for that injury. Sony Michel, 10 carries, 46 yards, 4.6 average. Yeah, that's awesome. Sony Michel. In every league that I had Darrell Henderson, I drafted Sony Michel. I mean, you just had to. So Very happy with Sony Michel. That's why we have him. I mean, I wish there are other teams out there like the Ravens, I think, wish that they had Sony Michel. I mean, Sony Michel, like his first 2 years in the league, pretty solid player. Like almost 1,000 yards a season guy, 13 total touchdowns. He just was on a team that had other running backs so he didn't get all the carries. Last year was an injury year for him. That's why his stock had fallen off a bit. Let's see here. Oh, do you guys notice? Like this also kind of is pretty insane to realize is that here goes Kyler scrambling, touchdown throw to DeAndre Hopkins, 7-7, Arizona and Minnesota. So the Rams going into the end of the first half and at the end of the game had like all their timeouts. This like last couple seasons, it's calling timeouts, first series, first drive of the game. And they didn't do it this time. I mean, I think that's more of Matthew Stafford than anything, but just something that I observed. I think both teams coming down to the 2 minutes of each half had all of their timeouts. It was a fast moving game. And that was kind of, I was a bit surprised by this. Very disappointed in how the offense played in the second and third quarter, but I'll take the win. Also, what's up with the special teams? We got to get that cleaned up and fast. What's up, Bill? I totally agree. And the Rams, they're on the road. I think that, the crowd plays a factor into it, but there were some drops. Van dropped, Darrell Henderson dropped, Robert Woods dropped. Van dropped, I think, on the third down. That would have been a first down. That would have been a conversion for a first down. So, that would have prolonged the drive a little bit at least. So, yeah, I mean, we're still ironing out the kinks, right? So, nothing's going to be perfect. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm glad it's over too. I'm glad we got that W at the end of the day. That's all that matters. Stafford times Kupp is sexual. Yeah, I would say so. I never thought about it that way, to be honest, though. Goff would have lost that game for us. Now you never know. Goff won some games too. Buying a Ramsey jersey ASAP. I think if you're going to buy Rams jerseys, for me, I'm not a jersey guy so much, but if I was to buy a Rams jersey, I'd probably go Aaron Donald 1, and then maybe Cooper Kupp 2 and Ramsey 3, just because Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald are like original Rams and they're awesome. And that's going to be the key to beat Tom Brady, to make him uncomfortable. Yeah, but I don't think Tom Brady really gets uncomfortable. He open mouth kissed his son, who was like 12 years old. So I don't really think anything makes him uncomfortable. Let's see. So how many times you see positions that Goff would have taken the sack and Stafford finds a way? No, totally. I totally agree. I just don't. I want to know how far into the season we're going to go before we stop really talking about Goff. I'm trying to not talk about Goff, but it's just you see the difference between the two here. Stafford at 600 yard, 5 tugs, and 1 pick so far in 2 games. Not bad. No, that is not bad at all. AD is a monster. Wentz was slippery, definitely. Yeah, Kupp and Stafford just unfair. I agree, and that's okay. I'll take that. The Bucs secondary is garbage. Kupp and Woods should have their day. Also, it's going to be interesting to see how our DL plays against the Bucs OL, but also the Bucs DL. I mean, the Bucs defensive line is a very solid defensive line. I mean, it really made the difference in the Super Bowl. I'm sure. What's up, Blake Harris? I'm sure it's been said already, but good teams win tough games on the road. Move past the dumb mistakes and play ball. Amen. I mean, if Nick Scott, if that snap just doesn't hit Nick Scott, then it's a completely different deal, right? I mean, you never know what happens after that. If that's like a real punt, they get the ball, then how does that really affect all the other plays for the rest of the game? Butterfly effect kind of deal. But, I can just sit here and say that this would have been a 10-point game at the end. Kupp, the balls. Okay. I'm not Van Sco. Come on. I mean, you can type it, but I can't repeat it. Kids are watching this, right? Rams house is watching this. Kupp. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. What else do I have here? Timeouts, lots of 5 wides. Hendo. O-line looked good. Yeah. I mean, this was a fun game. I didn't watch the first game live. And so I didn't really, I didn't have those. I know the Rams won, so I didn't have like the anticipation of what's going to happen. Didn't have the butterflies, so to speak. But yeah, this one I started to get a little nervous, started to sweat a bit. Yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to the box score here. Darrell Henderson was averaging 4.1, Michelle 4.6. I mean, the Rams ran the ball 29 yards or 29 times for 101 yards. So they ran it for 29 times and they passed it for 30 times. There was just a couple times when they just did three passes. Gosh, Tyler Lockett. I swear every game that dude gets behind the defense and does an over the shoulder catch. Ugh, it's disgusting, to be honest with you. Also kind of crazy watching a day game at SoFi with Dallas and the Chargers. So anyone here on the live stream or anyone that's watching this on the replay, please tell me if you were at the first game at SoFi, how was the food? I remember in the pregame, people were posting pictures and saying the food was pretty bad for the price. And I saw that and I agree. I feel that's just a crying shame, but there's just something I'm wondering. How was the food at SoFi? Yeah, let's see here. He kisses Kraft too. He does. We will keep talking about golf until the Rams win the Super Bowl. Yep, for the most part. And Wentz brought his shovel to the game. Yeah, Wentz. Oh, South Dakota Rams. So you saw a lot of Wentz. I mean, he was North Dakota though, right? I mean, both Dakotas stick together, right? I guess. I think Kupp could break the receiving record this year. Hope they both stay healthy. Can he? Yeah, he could. I wonder how long before the Rams get Deshaun Jackson and get more Van Jefferson and Robert Woods involved. So he could, but I think there's just so many flavors on the team. Kenny Young is an idiot. Yeah, he got heated. He got heated for sure. Yeah, next week the Bucks, that's a real test. Sony came through. Totally agree. Next week is a real challenge. Can't wait. You'll be there. All right, Mr. Palma, bring it. Bring it and let me know about the food. Season ticket holder food is below par. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like I would have thought, and correct me, I could be totally wrong, but that they would add a lot of like local restaurants or like mom and pops places, like barbecue and different things to like operate in there and be, like have flavor of Los Angeles and SoFi. But it's a shame. It just looks like it's just crap sterile stadium food, which is just, and super overpriced too. So you're just like, I could eat a full Jersey Mike sub for like a quarter of this price of this sausage. I heard the food is pretty terrible. I've seen some rough pictures. Yeah, beer was $16. Yeah, that's what you're going to get. Dodger Stadium, all these places, beers are out of control. So if you can just tailgate, you just tailgate and you go in there, then maybe you buy one beer when you're in there and you're good. Van Jefferson missing that catch was quite frustrating. I agree. Yes, but North Dakota sucks though. I guess if you're not from a Dakota, you just don't know the bad blood between the Dakotas. Who cares about food when you have the choice to burn too? I don't get that. But Oregon Coast, please tell me what you mean. Have some street tacos, give it some Mexican flavor. Yeah, have some street tacos, have some barbecue, have sandwiches. I mean, just have like all the different things. Did Dallas just score? I think I saw that out of the corner of my eye. Dalvin Cook in the red zone. How's everyone's fantasy team doing? I have Stafford and Kupp in one of my leagues, so that was just beautiful. They had local foods at the Coliseum 100 times better than SoFi. Yeah, definitely. Definitely agree on that. So is Tutu going to be a thing at some point? Too small, or does he just need a redshirt year? Stoic, Weldsmith, I think it's going to be a redshirt year, honestly, because, I mean, Deshaun Jackson's not even getting in the games. So when's Tutu going to get in there? And, this is another thing. The Rams, what they made was 2 punts by the 2 or 3 punts. So, I mean, Oh gosh, the Colts punted only a couple times, and if that's all you're using Tutu for, then what's the point? Do you think Stafford has a chance of winning MVP? Yeah, he does. He definitely does. But I need, we'll see after I give it a good quarter of the season and reevaluate and see what other quarterbacks are doing. Like I didn't really have time to digest, what Josh Allen did today, and Mahomes didn't play. Ooh, Thielen, I'll take it. Another fantasy receiver and quarterback combination. So yeah, I mean, listen, guys, at the end of the day, it's a W. It's a straight up W. That's all we need. Wins and losses. Do you remember last year? Like, can you just rattle off the top of your head every win, every loss? Just boom, boom, boom. No, you just kind of remember the aggregate. You remember, oh, we were 10-6. So at the end of the season, let's be 14-3. And so what if we have some close games in there? We're 14-3 and good win. Good, the old school Rams before McVay would lose that game. They would always find out a way to lose. So now we have a team that finds out a way to win, and we should celebrate that. We should cherish that, right? So it's not perfect, but Vansco bringing up a really nice Sebastian Joseph day. 9 tackles, 6 solo, 3 assists, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss, 2 QB hits. He had a good game, and that's a 5th-round pick out of Rutgers. So, that's the Rams just taking a flyer on a guy in the late rounds and coaching him up, and I love that. And thanks for bringing that, Vansco. Thanks for bringing that stat. Josh is from the UK and am yet to go to a Rams game in Los Angeles, hoping this season. You aren't joking that the beer is 16. No, we aren't. So here's the thing, Josh. At Dodger Stadium, so for baseball games and Laker games, I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure it's the same. Beers are just so expensive. I mean, usually you get the tall boys, but still $16 for a beer. I mean, you drink two you drink 2 beers, yeah, you got a buzz going, but like that's $32. So, and Dodger Stadium you can't tailgate, but at Rams games you can. So it's really you just drink as much as you can in the parking lot, or, at the tailgate, the party sections outside, and then you just have one beer, maybe one beer per half inside and get through it. And also $16 for a beer, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's not a nice craft beer or like just a solid beer. That is a Bud Light or a Coors Light or just something pretty gross. So yeah, that's Josh. That's America for you. That's LA for you, actually. We've been seeing more Rams fights this year. Maybe they are mad at the food, probably. The interception by Troy Reader was amazing. Yeah, but that's like a Jared Goff play. Watching the Chargers Cowboys 0-7 Kupp was a beast today. Yep. And let's go Tennessee. Tennessee's playing Seattle right now. Seattle's up 3-0. And let's just come on, Tennessee. Ooh, Tannehill deep play and drop by Julio Jones. Ooh, Julio Jones just not the same. The Jets game still haunts me. It haunts me too. But, I don't think much would have changed had the Rams won other than just one lost record. Yeah, we lost to the Bills, the Niners, the Dolphins, the Niners, the Jets, and the Seahawks. Yep. Okay, we'll see. I mean, I know who we lost to, but yeah, all the other games we won last year, but we're upset about because we didn't play perfectly. And I know that we lost to the Niners twice. I can't get that out of my head. Good game from a Colts fan. Good luck on y'all season. Hey, thank you, Luck7. Nothing ill against the Colt fans or the Colt franchise. Got no beef with you guys. And, hopefully you can, Wentz isn't completely worked for the season, but that's kind of what you get with Carson Wentz. Same as Darrell Henderson. They're both glass. So, but also Wentz was running for his life. It was a matter of time. So yeah, Husenbergy, that's fine. No, I asked for it. Can you get Corona in Germany? Yeah, actually, I have one in the fridge. But at the same time, why would you want one? Because the German beer is also pretty amazing. And that makes me feel like I'm at home. Sony Michelle, way to come into the game and run the ball. Totally agree. Matt Gay has been consistent ever since he suited up as a Ram. It's nice to find that because they struggled for a while after Zerline left. Yeah, they struggled with Samuel Sloman, and Rodrigo Blankenship was the best college kicker last year or 2 years ago, and the Rams didn't take him. They took Sloman. So Matt Gay's been awesome. Yeah, it's an insane price for a beer over here. A Premier League soccer game, pay £5 at most for 1 pint of beer. I mean, Europe is just a completely different animal. And so, yeah. And also, I think in Europe, they also know that like everyone's drinking a beer or 5. So might as well just keep them plugged in and going. But yeah, so guys, I'm going to be wrapping this up in a few minutes. Just want to say thank you so much for dropping by and participating in the live stream. If you are watching this and haven't seen or not a subscriber to the Rams Talk channel, I'm pretty sure everyone in here is. Please subscribe. You can find me on Twitter at Real LA Rams Talk. And yeah, I'm really pumped. Really pumped the Rams came away with the W 2-0 to start the season. I think now they're 1 game behind the Colts in the all-time record between the two teams. And yeah, so gearing up for that Bucks game. And let's see here. Yeah, Renee House chiming in. Renee House, always good to see you. But yeah, thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate it. You know, I think we'll wrap our heads around this more as the day goes on and we get into tomorrow. But that's a great way to start a Sunday for everyone in the States. For me, it's a great way to end a Sunday. And as always, go Rams.